Good evening, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Gacha, episode 45. Love and memories are at the balance here. And poor Kajiki, he just stood there as his friends transform into Kamen Riders and taking the fight towards the enemy and saving his girlfriend. And as Hotaro and Kuro fight the enemy, Kajiki went after Hijiri. But unfortunately for him, Weird Sister number 3 came in between them and just knocks him out. And Hotaro fights Weird Sister number 3. And this is where we get this reveal as to why Angelia is after Hijiri. According to Angelia, she is special, that she has the power to change the world. That's what she saw in the stars, according to her. And Hotaro is like, what the hell do you mean by that? What makes Hijiri special enough to, change the world? But we didn't get any answer after that because the enemy disappears. And poor Kajiki is just like screaming and like, Hijiri. Well, not really, but So the enemy disappears. Sabi shows up and pinpoints where Hijiri is located. And so the alliance split. Hotaro and Kajiki went on their own trying to find Hijiri, while Kuro, Renge, and Sabi are looking for any of the past people who got turned into malgams, which, by the way, it's a lot of people within a year. So, I mean, good luck. So they split off, and then we get to Hijiri. She wakes up and sees Hajiriya, and she's greeted by her. And then we move on to Weird Sister number 2, where we get to know her decision, and her decision is to go through with the procedure. And as number 2 was doing the procedure, you get to see Kyoka and Spanner, and they were talking about memories, and memories can be good and can also be painful. But Kyoka mentions that, you are a perfect example, Spanner, of someone who has a ton of bad memories. However, those bad memories, as much as you want to forget about them, it made you turn into the man that you are today. And it's true. Because if it weren't for those painful events in his life, he wouldn't be Spanner. Makes sense. And so they have an open discussion about memories, and then number 2 comes to, and Kyoka and Spanner were listening to number 2, and she said that she got to know the person that she resembles as, because again, this whole thing reminds me a whole lot of Drive and their monsters, where Heart, Chase, Brain, and Medic, and the other monsters were just, they get the appearance of real people. And this currently is no different. And she says that this person is vile, greedy, vain. Like, she's a bad person overall, but she can't help but not hate her because she has this dream of becoming a singer and wants the world to listen to her music and be happy. So that's the reason why she can't bring herself to hate her, which causes Spanner to smile a little bit. So already the seeds are starting to sprout. So we move on to smiling Spanner to Weird Sister number 3. The poor thing, she wanders around the woods, and she gets greeted by Master Geryon and Weird Sister number 1, who's been played by a 10-year-old. And she tells Master Geryon that, look, I just want my family back. I want my sister back. and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to bring her back home. And she goes on her knees to Master Geryon and begs him, if I manage to succeed in bringing number 2 back, will you forgive her? And Master Geryon goes down on his knees and tells her that, yes, I will forgive her. I too want this family to be back together. I promise you it will happen. And which causes number 3 to be joyful, and number 1, not so much, but she's motionless. But you can tell that number 2 and number 3 are developing feelings, something that a doll cannot have, because a doll should be, you know how you say, motionless. But it's strange that number 3 is getting all these emotions like, I want this family to be back together. I want power. It's something that a human desires. Humans desire power. Humans want a family. So this tells me that number 3 is becoming somewhat human, because she has human feelings too, unlike number 1, at least not yet. Because you can tell by number 1, she's still... Like, you would think that number 1 will be smiling and be like, look, this is what I like to hear. I also want the family back together. I want to forgive number 2, but she just stands there not smiling at all and just being the perfect doll as she is. Makes me wonder that Master Geryon's like, this is starting to feel like number 3 is starting to be defective now, because she's having these feelings. Anyways, so Master Geryon promised her that the family will be back together. And we get to Gaelijah again, and she gets insulted by Hijiri because she called her a monster, and she viewed her form as a divine form. I'm like, Gaelijah, you look hideous. You look like you came from Hellraiser. At least not like gothic like that, but you're close enough. Anyways, Gaelijah returns her monster comment. The monster comment to Hijiri by taking her to memory lane, as she is taking her back to the Kyoto episodes where she discovers that her brother was a criminal and turned into a monster in front of her, and she herself turned into a monster too. So yeah, so if I'm a monster, you're a monster too, so shut up. Sit down. And I have the receipts. So Gaelijah's goal, her plan, is to drive Hijiri into despair enough to manifest a malgam. Just like what happened with Hotaro, only instead of a malgam, he turned himself into an egg. So Gaelijah wants Hijiri into despair and brought in the evil tree malgam in order to do so, but Hijiri says, like, I'm not a monster, and it just runs off. And Hijiri's like, you cannot escape your fate. Like, sooner or later you will become the very monster you hate. So the tree malgam chases after her. Luckily, Hotaro and Kajiki manage to locate her and saves her. And you have Hotaro fighting evil tree malgam while Kajiki runs towards Hijiri, but she just runs away into the woods. So Kajiki goes after her while Hotaro and his rainbow form fights evil tree. So this is where we get those two alone in the woods. And poor Hijiri, I mean, she feels like she doesn't deserve Kajiki because her brother is a criminal, and all, which leads to the whole sins of the brother type of thing. She believes if he is a criminal, so am I. I am capable of doing horrible things just like my brother. And this is where Angelia and number 3 shows up and uses the abyss power to engulf Hijiri's negative energy to turn into her old battery malgam form. The only difference is Hijiri is still a human, while the battery malgam is active. So again, Angelia is using Hijiri's negative emotions, her despair, to manifest into a malgam. And Hotaro's like, what the hell? Like, what is this? So Hotaro is stuck between a hard and a rock place because he is dealing with two malgams, plus trying to save both his best friend and his girlfriend. So he's on his own. But luckily, thanks to his rainbow powers, he managed to create a copy of himself, his basic champion form in gacha, so it became a 2-on-2 match. And then this is where one of the gachas managed to destroy the battery malgam, but it ends up reviving itself because, again, when Hijiri is in depressed mode, it resurrects the malgam. It feeds on negative energy. And so when it got resurrected, it ends up shocking Kajiki. And this is where you gotta give kudos to Kajiki, because he gingerly walks towards Hijiri as he's getting the shock treatment, and he is just slowly walking towards her until he couldn't bear the pain and he just collapses. And so even when he falls down, he still crawls to make the attempt to reach Hijiri, and says, like, look, it's thanks to my best friend that gave me the courage to approach you and start this relationship, and to not give up on her. And however, as powerful and how wonderful his words should be, Hijiri was like, she's not listening. She's deep in despair, and it doesn't matter what he says, because the world will cast her down because she is the sister of a criminal, and they're going to be outcasts and that sort of thing. And I missed the part where, once again, one of the Hotaros destroys the malgam again, but gets resurrected again, and continues to beat up Kajiki. But as he gets beat up, the poor kid tells Hijiri, so what? Who cares about what the world thinks? This is about us. I mean, and I will protect you. So please don't throw your memories of joy away. That causes Hijiri to not only get her memories back, but also no longer become in despair anymore, which causes the malgam to suddenly stop within its tracks, which causes Hotaro, hey, this is an opening, so let us, destroy the two malgams at the same time. So we get to see both Hotaros do a rider fever, destroying the two malgams, and you see all these negative particles, these negative energies just flowing up into the sky, and which causes Angelia and number 3 be like, let's get out of here. Let's go away. So the enemy leaves. Hijiri is saved, and she wonders, how come you and I couldn't remember the events that happened in Kyoto? What's going on? This is where we get Minato Sensei with his students, and he explains, oh, it wasn't me. It was the Kemi law. The Kemi laws made me do the memory wipe thing. And he explains that the world, or at least the Muggle world, if you will, is not allowed to it's like the chemis, malgams, common riders are in need. They need to remain secret. Okay, if any human tells everybody, it just exposes the alchemy world, and it will lead to consequences. That's the reason why alchemists are required to erase their memories. This is where I got confused, because last week Minato Sensei said that he didn't really erase people's memories. He just blocked them, like gave them a memory wall in their minds to not remember the events that happened to these people who ended up in malgams or got exposure with the chemis and Hotaro and all that stuff. Now he says, well, I erase people's memories because of the chemi laws. I'm like, writers, make up your mind. Either he blocks them or he erased them. Make up your mind. But it doesn't matter, because apparently that magic is only temporary. It just happens now when it's close to the finale that everybody's memories have the possibility to come back, which leads to the exposure of the alchemy world, which will happen in a scene or two. And so this is where Miro Sensei does the thing to the prisoner, and Kajiki asks Miro Sensei if it's possible to erase Hijiri's memories, because he does not want her to remember those painful memories, even if it costs him the not remembering him. So what I'm trying to say is, erase her memories, even at the cost of losing her memories of him. And Hotaro's like, are you sure about this? Because it will not, once you go this path, you will never give it back. But then again, now with the possibility of getting her memories back, I mean, it doesn't matter. But Hijiri was like, look, I know what you're trying to do. That's sweet of you, but I'm going to keep my memories, the good and the bad, because I'm not going to lose the memories I have with you. And this is where we get this happy ending that they both agreed that, yeah, we're going to keep our memories. Well, Kajiki can't, because how many times that he had the Ring of Power thing on him, and Miro Sensei said it himself, like, look, I can't do this again with him because it will lead to dangerous consequences. Like, his brain will not handle another spell. So I think it's best to leave him be. Even when Spanner was suggesting, hey, we just clean out his memories, wipe it all clean, but even that comes with severe consequences. So Miro Sensei turns around and just decides not to do the thing on those two. And Kuro was like, wait a minute, are you going to break chemi laws? And Miro Sensei said that that my best friend had a dream where the chemi laws are no longer applied, and chemis and humans can coexist in this world, and I want to keep that promise, which leads to him talking to Hotaro that, please, you have that dream of yours, reach towards that dream, okay? Because like I mentioned a few episodes ago, that Miro Sensei's best friend and Hotaro have similar dreams, and it makes sense to give his best friend's dream over to Hotaro and be like, hey, go and achieve your dream of yours. And Hotaro's like, yeah, I will achieve it, I promise, thank you. And so we get the last two scenes, or three. You get to see Hijiri and Kajiki walking in the bridge. They missed the fireworks festival, And then we get to see a Kemi festival instead, and you see that Hotaro and his friends were the ones responsible for the fireworks show, and we get to see this cool moment between Kajiki and Hijiri where you see both hands trying to like go together, that sort of thing, which eventually Hotaro and Kuro will do in the last episode, which, by the way, since the Romeo and Juliet episodes, there was no mention about their relationship or pushing that relationship. It's like it became dead, which I don't care really about those two being in a relationship anyways. But that's something that I want to mention, that the writers forgot about their relationship rather quickly. Speaking of relationship, we get to see Weird Sister number 2, who is also looking at the fireworks. And we have Kyoka, and we have Spanner serving them dinner. And we get this talk between girls saying that, well, before that, number 2 eats, and she is like, oh, it's good, it's oshi. And Kyoka is like, oh, okay, so you can taste now, that's good. We're pretty much heading towards humanity just yet, and she says the next step to speed things along is to have a dream or fall in love. Wink, wink. And Kyoka was like, why not have Spanner? Like, yeah, why not just fall in love with Spanner? And number 2 was like, wait a minute, what a ridiculous joke. Me and Spanner? And Kyoka was like, he made this dinner just for you. And the seeds are already sprouting. I mean, seeds were already planted when you notice Spanner like smiling and a little bit, and number 2 was like feeling the vibes just a little bit, but now the seeds are having they're sprouting, because Kyoka is all for the Spanner and number 2 relationship. Why else is she's like, yeah, he made this dinner just for you, huh? Why not just go and try? Because that's what it is to be human, to fall in love and have dreams. So go for it. And then, of course, number 2 is like, me and Spanner, I don't think that's possible because it's Spanner. But then all of a sudden we get a little bit of a Master Geryon thing. I'm not sure if it's like a flashback, or maybe Master Geryon communicated with her just for that split second about dolls being defective, and that kind of spooked her, which leads into the last scene of this episode where Gaelijah used the negative energy, and like snow, it's falling all around the city of Tokyo. And it leads to the next morning, and it leads to the exposure of the alchemy world, because everybody who got affected by the malgam attacks, the Kamen riders, the chemis, those people remember, and with it the exposure of the chemi world. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode, guys. We only have 4 episodes left, and we're starting our end game, because now in the next episode, the exposure it's something that the alchemists like Spanner and Miroto Sensei feared, that it's going to come to pass now, because the humans now know the existence of malgams and chemis and alchemists, so they cannot wipe their memories, because it's a bunch of people and their rings of power are battery juice. So it's going to be a lot. So I wonder how Hotaro and the gang is going to handle this situation. The last thing I want to say before I wrap this up is that I have to give kudos to Kajiki once again, because when you're in love and getting force lightning, you're like, who cares? I need to be with my girl and tell her that you're not a monster. Who cares about what other people think? I'm here. You're here. We're gonna protect each other. That's love. That's love. And this is something that I wish could have happened, and I'll repeat this here again, is that I wish Kajiki would have his moment in the sunlight just to become a Kamen Rider for one day. Just for one day. Him destroying the malgams and just rescue the girl would have been the icing on top. But it doesn't matter if he is a Kamen Rider for a day or not. He made his day. He made the episode become his, if you will. But it would have been a nice, cool thing that Hotaro would have done. Like, hey, Kajiki, use my belt, transform it to gacha, save your girl. That would have been cool, to be honest. But stupid writers. And speaking of stupid writers, again, make up your mind, people. Either Miroto Sensei blocked their memories or he erased them. Make up your mind, okay? Also, where the hell is Fuga? Where is he at? And more importantly, who in the hell is Hotaro's father? Who is he? We only have 4 episodes left, people. 4. We're heading into episode 46. And we have yet have, like, any clues, Easter eggs, like who could be the father. And in social media, there's rumors going around that supposedly the actor who played in a certain Sentai could be playing as the father. I'm like, is this a cameo? Is this a cameo? Because if it is, this is nothing more than a nothing burger. And it's just, oh God. At this point, guys, this storyline of the mystery of who Hotaro's father is my patience is running thin. I just don't care anymore. I don't care. The writers are doing a lousy job making us feel invested in this stupid mystery, which they haven't even done. There was just mentions of Hotaro's father, but that's okay. All right, I'm not gonna God, this show, I want this to be over. But again, if it turns out to be a nothing burger, I'm here for it. I'm here to tear it up. Especially in the character videos, I'll definitely tear it up. So yeah, great episode. Kajiki did great. He ends up rescuing the girl. He didn't have to be a Kamen Rider in order to do so. And the lesson is how much it doesn't matter how memories are, whether it's painful or not. It makes us be human. It makes us grow up, because both the good and the bad, it makes us humans become better. Because a perfect example, like Spanner, after everything the enemy has done to him, especially when he was a child, he was an orphan until Kyoka decided to adopt him and all that. And those painful events made him to what he is today. And it's just, this is how important like memories is. It can be both good and bad, but it makes us human and become better. And that's the moral lesson of this episode as well. Love and memories. And Miroto Sensei's memory magic sucks because it's only temporary. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here. I don't want to make this too long. All right, guys, give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts and opinions on episode 45. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And if I miss anything, please write in the comments below, because even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed a couple of things. I do apologize for the background sounds. I do, apologize on that. And also, I just want to apologize as well that I tend to repeat myself and I may stumble across my words, because here's the thing, guys. It's not scripted. I have my notes, but all I have, the things that I'm saying to you guys, are from my heart, my brain, my mouth. That's it. I'm talking to you, not at you. And I feel like if I had a script, I feel like I'm not genuine. So I feel like doing it off script and go by notes and just go by nicknames and do whatever it is I'm doing in this show, I feel that I am genuine, and hopefully with my explanations and opinions, it just is more genuine and not fake. Anyways, enough with the ramble. Give a like if you like it. Please subscribe. And I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. 4 episodes left, guys. 4 episodes left. Who in the hell is Hotaro's father? Johnny!